Hello, everyone. I'm Ben Coleman, one of your many hosts for the Florida Aviation Network out of Florida. Orlando, Florida is home base for us. Obiang and all of his minions of volunteers down there. We're here at the Reno Air Races 2018, and Dave Block is the shooter in the back, and he's also the producer of this. So it's always a pleasure to come to Reno, where this is the Valley of Speed, but it's also, I would call it, the fulcrum of experience. And we have a guy here, Chuck Marshall. Chuck.
Hey, Ben, nice to meet you.
Sorry, I didn't have the mic on.
Oh, Ben, nice to meet you.
Oh, okay. You're good at repeating yourself too. Chuck, I just had the pleasure of meeting you. Sean Knickerbocker said that you got to talk to Chuck, and it sounds to me like you guys are on the right track of trying to keep this proliferated and handed down, and bringing new people into learning what these dope and fabric round motor airplanes are all about.
Right, Ben. We're sitting in the pits of the T6 Racing Association's gathering of racers, and I'm the Secretary Treasurer of the North American Trainer Association. And our initiative this year is a huge sponsorship program where we're taking young mechanics and inspection authorized mechanics and sending them to our NATA boot camp. It's a scholarship program where we provide all expenses paid, where they go learn about dope and fabric and round motors in an attempt to drive young people into a dying art. A lot of our mechanics are coming out of the military from as early as World War II to the Korean War to the Vietnam War. It's kind of a dying art in some respects, and we recognize that. And so we're trying our best to get enthusiasts to begin to understand the beauty of these airplanes and why we're just custodians of them. We own them, but we are only owning them until the next guy gets them. And the whole idea is these are terrific aircraft that were designed and built with slide rules in the 30s, and they're wonderful flying machines. They're in the case of the T6, it was deemed the pilot maker. In fact, this year was the 80th anniversary of the birth of this airplane, the North American Trainer, the SNJ, and the Canadian Harvard. And we've been celebrating it all year. We had a tremendous celebration at our venue at Oshkosh this year. And part of that flight was to introduce this aircraft to all the 600,000 members that came to Oshkosh. And again, with our mission of moving this thing down, trying to get enthusiasts, we do this through regional coordinated fly-ins and formation training events, and passing our knowledge down to all the people that are interested in it. The trick is to get them out of the joystick world and get them into a good stick and rudder airplane.
Well, Chuck, you had me captivated at what you guys are doing. And it's out of it's passion. I mean, you see the passion just oozing out of our veins on this stuff. But how do you transcend that passion? And it's if you get a good live mind and a capable body, good eye-hand coordination, and if they have, I got a feeling if they want to devote the time and attention to do it, you and your group would do everything they could to make it happen.
That is absolutely correct. We are a trade group, a type of association. Again, the things that we need to do is capture our knowledge, both from an oral standpoint through coordinators and mentors, and then the printed word. We have wonderful classroom training that we do for formation flying, maintenance, and safety of this aircraft. We believe wholeheartedly, and the way you get people enthused is to see that this airplane is a beautiful flying machine, and you can afford to fly this machine. It does not take a tremendous amount of wealth to be in warbirds, whether they're the L-birds, the liaison aircraft, or the training aircraft like the T6, the Stearmans, and then moving on into the single-seat fighters.
But the sponsorship is key, but and the expense. You just mentioned that the T6 is not that expensive an airplane to fly, but isn't it all relative? Because some people say, "Oh, I could never afford to fly; it's too expensive." I don't buy that. It's no more expensive today than it was back in 1970, relatively speaking. So If you want something hard enough and bad enough, you're going to find out a way to do it.
Ben, I'll tell you, I'm very encouraged. I've been flying for 53 years, and I got my pilot's license while I was in the Air Force, and I've had a uninsatiable love affair with aviation. That passion hit me years ago, and I believe it's our mission, and fellows like me are trying to move that on to younger people, our sons and grandsons, and I believe it's happening. It's a slow growth process. We've had over the last 10 years a tremendous movement up. General aviation has, in some ways, stagnated, but the enthusiasm in warbirds and the airplanes that were represented here at the Reno Air Races is moving forward, and it's partly due to the 1,000 members of the North American Trainer Association who go out and meet people like you, Ben, talk about what we love about these airplanes, why they are the great flying machines, and it is an alternative to aviation. And we are encouraged that with our efforts and other type club efforts, we'll be able to get young people that are so enthused that would turn and come to aviation and maybe move away from the joystick glass cockpit airplane to the old round dial steam stick and rudder airplanes that we fly here today.
I'm here to kill the couch potato. Let's just, they need to be done away with. All due respect to the couch, and I love potatoes too and potato chips, but get your butts out to the airport and get it with a man like this to learn about aviation.
And you can, for further references, you can go to a number of sites. Warbirds of America is a great site, and the North American Trainer Association is a great site. It's flynata.org. And for those of you who are interested in precision formation flying, come to a type group like NATA and fly with other fellow aviators and perfect the art of formation precision flying.
Well, Chuck, it's been a pleasure, and it's a pleasure to meet you, and I think we'll be seeing more of you. And we're going to wrap this up. Anything you'd like to leave us with? You're racing here this week, aren't you?
Actually, I'm on a crew. John Lomar, Race 88. We came out here 12 years ago with a rented U-Haul trailer and 3 guys, and last year we won the gold T6 race, and this year we're the defending champions, and we just won our heat race here 15 minutes ago, and we're all excited, and we're going to continue on, and now instead of having 3 people, we've got 20 people in the pits.
That's great. Well, Chuck, let the party continue.
Thank you much, Ben. Appreciate this effort.
It's and thanks for your time. And we're going to sign it off because I hear some horsepower behind us. We need to go check it out. Ben Coleman, Florida Aviation Network. See you later.